Star White. Hey everyone, so welcome to our review of sorts of Resident Evil 5 on Move. Obviously we had hoped to write this originally, but the difficulty of playing the game with Move was so much so that we thought it'd be easier to show you and just talk over it. So to start, obviously you're all aware, or maybe not, that Resident Evil 5 is a great game. Move as well is a great piece of tech, but this is an example of how two rights can make a wrong. So obviously Resident Evil 5 was designed to be played with a controller. When you play it, the left analog stick controls where your character moves, and the right analog stick controls the camera. Perhaps the biggest flaw with Resident Evil 5 on Move is that you have no control of the camera. The nunchuck in your left hand controls where you move, and in your right hand you're holding the Move controller. The Move controller does nothing in this game apart from when you're trying to shoot zombies. So essentially you're trying to play the game one-handed. Perhaps the most disappointing thing is that Resident Evil 5 should show off what Move can do. It should be turning the PlayStation into a Wii HD. Instead, first-person shooter experiences that you get on the Wii are vastly superior to this. While we were playing the game, we didn't have a nunchuck in our media kit Move, so we had to use a traditional PlayStation controller in our left hand, which is obviously not ergonomically designed for control with one hand. So after about sort of 5 minutes of play, the left hand was starting to cramp up a bit.
This way. But maybe because of the new government, the people around here are a little on edge. You should do what you came here to do and go home.
Yeah, they really roll out the red carpet for us Americans.
I have your weapons for you here. Check them.
Remember, we're a team. Whatever happens, we stick together.
Don't worry. I may not be as big as you, but I can still hold my own.
Here we go. This is what's wrong with Resident Evil 5 on Move. Usually, if you panned your reticule to the side of the screen, the camera would pan round. Not so with Resident Evil 5. So what you do is, or the problem is you're stuck on the frame you've just selected. If you do want to pan the camera, you have to use the left analog stick that you're holding in your left hand, which is the same stick you've just been using to move your character, so it creates a disconnect. Right, here's another problem. Since looking is bound to the left analog stick as soon as you hold down the trigger, if you get two actions too close together, your camera is just going to pan straight up as soon as you pull out your gun, which is going to be a massive problem later in the game when you need to respond quickly. Swiping with your knife like that, you'll see I'm having more trouble with the camera, but swiping with your knife like that is a flick of the remote, of the Move controller. Which is a very easy action to make, so you often find yourself swiping erratically for no particular reason.
What the hell just happened?
They didn't move like any zombies I've ever seen.
Yeah, reloading is not particularly fun either. What you got to do is aim the gun and then wave it around erratically until it reloads. It's the same sort of difficulty that we see with many Wii games as well. It's just shoehorned in there. As in, you know, I mean, you could easily bind reloading to any number of keys or buttons, but instead we're forced to use motion control. Anyone watching you play without any camera control is going to think you're an idiot. Okay, now put it all together and see how it goes wrong. important is that if you're using a move starter kit as we were, you need to keep in mind that you're actually holding a regular controller in your hand, and the temptation to simply just drop the remove controller and play the game using the normal controller is incredibly high.
Kurt, come in! The locals are hostile! The gate is sealed, and we're trapped! We need backup, and we need it right now!
Roger that. Just sit tight. I'm on my way.
Did you hear that, Sheva? Help's on the
For
way!
any new tech to be successful in any particular instance, it needs to offer a greater advantage than the previous model. What Move isn't doing here is offering any greater advantage than a normal controller, and in fact, if anything, particularly as Resident Evil 5 was designed for use with a controller, Move makes it far more difficult. That's how it ends. So to reiterate, Resident Evil 5 is a great game. Move is an incredible piece of tech. When the two come together, it's just a disaster.